Hello, everybody. This is an impromptu live today for all of those who struggle with hidden disability or trigeminal neuralgia. And sorry, it's always back to front on this. Um, yeah, so basically, I'm here impromptu to talk to any of you who are part of the channel or who want to know a little bit more about trigeminal neuralgia, or perhaps you even live with hidden disability, and we can chat about that as well. So, the main subject of today is what it's like to live with knowing that you could have pain at any time. So, what that does to you, and maybe ways of coping around that, maybe a discussion around how we might cope around that as well. So, yeah, that's what I'm here for, and it is not planned. So, my name is Nairi, and I've had trigeminal neuralgia for over 3 years now. But when I first had it, it was really, really difficult to live with because I couldn't plan anything. I couldn't go out with family. I couldn't know like what was going to happen from day to day. So there was always that kind of fear of the fact that I might start something and then the pain might erupt. And I think for many of us with trigeminal neuralgia, because the pain is like it can happen like really quickly, sometimes you might get a little bit of an idea that it's going to happen, but at the same time, it can happen really quickly as well. And I'm sure for some illnesses and disabilities, it's the same. Like you may have some warning, but you don't always know what your day is going to look like. So, how can that affect you every day, knowing that you're going to wake up and maybe you're not going to have a good day? I think that's something that would be lovely if people were here to talk to me about. But the way that I see it is that even if you're a really positive person, if you wake up in the morning and you can tell that you're going to have a day full of pain, you can't really stay that positive. It's really hard to do that. And you need lots of kind of methods and strategies to help you along the way. Lots of people around you that love you and understand. Lots of things that you can do kind of in your routine to help support yourself through that. And throughout the time that I've had this, I did develop some strategies to help me to improve my mental health with the pain. So the first strategy was the acceptance of having it. That was the first thing that I felt I needed to do. Excuse me. Just knowing that things were going to be difficult and accepting the pain and accepting that even if other people didn't understand, it didn't really matter. Sorry, I'm sticking my glasses thing out. It didn't matter if other people didn't understand. It didn't matter if other people didn't know what it was. It didn't matter if when I explained the pain, people didn't get it. Just the full acceptance of it's what I have. If other people don't understand it, if other people don't get it, if other people haven't experienced it, that doesn't matter. What matters is me accepting that I have this. And for many trigeminal neuralgia sufferers and those who've got hidden disabilities like fibro, neuralgia, and other disabilities, sorry, really hot, then I think that is the first step, is accepting that you have it and not worrying about whether other people accept you have it or not, because a lot of these things are not easily seen. So you can look okay one day and then you might have a really bad pain day the next. So I think that is the first thing, acceptance. And once you accept that you're living with a pain condition, I think mentally you can cope better with the pain. That's my thoughts. That's my first strategy anyway. And I think also the thing to accept is that you will get some days that are better than others. So with trigeminal neuralgia in the beginning, you probably have nearly every day that's terrible. And every day is a day where you're not coping very well with the pain. But as your condition improves, then you may get days where you're better and days when you're not so good. And I guess then it's a way of kind of moving forward is, okay, I'm having a better day. Let's do a little bit today. Let's try a few things, see how I go, and accept that maybe tomorrow I have to rest more. So like not worrying about kind of having days that dip in and out a little bit, days that are better than others, days that you can do more, but other days when you can't. And that's another kind of acceptance thing. But living with constant pain, all the fear of it, this is the thing. So my situation is a lot better. Like, I don't really have that many flare-ups. I mean, recently I've been having like a little bit of something going on, and I'm not sure whether it's trigeminal neuralgia playing up or whether it is something to do with my tooth needing attention. But the fear of knowing it might be a flare-up is quite challenging, because I don't know if it's going to get worse, and therefore it kind of plays on your mind a little bit. And I think when something plays on your mind, then that does cause mental health problems, doesn't it? Because it's just hanging over you. So if you are here watching and you have a pain condition, whether it be trigeminal neuralgia or something else, then let me know, and be happy to sort of chat with you, answer any questions that you might have. Depending on the condition, obviously I've got trigeminal neuralgia, but I do have other things as well. But depending on what you have, we can chat about it. So let me know if you are in the, watching and you want to talk about anything. So we're talking about mental health and what it's like to know that you might have a pain episode and how to deal with that. So my other thoughts around this are, I never really, in the beginning, when I was getting a lot more happening, I would always write down in a log or journal or diary how I was doing, so that I could see either any triggers or I could see any progress I was making. And if I was having a bad day, I would always try and share that with my husband. Now, I guess for someone else, that might be someone different. But if you wake up and you know you're in a good place, that's fine. But if you wake up and you know you might not be in a good place, then it's probably best not to pretend you are. So for me, kind of like letting someone know that I might be on the border of like a flare up or something like that would help me to be stronger in myself. Because then if my husband said to me, right, let's go and do this today, I would already have said to him, I'm not having a good day. So he would accept that maybe I wasn't going to do that with him today, and I wouldn't feel so bad about it. And also, when you go through severe pain like you do with trigeminal neuralgia, then knowing someone is there to call on, especially if it becomes completely sort of unmanageable, if you need to be taken somewhere to the hospital, you need somebody to ring the doctor for you, you have that person there. So yeah, I'm just having a look at something. Let's just close this a minute. So let me ask you a question in the chat. And you can see. The other thing that's isolating about this, whether it be trigeminal neuralgia or any other pain condition, is that there's a whole load of people out there that don't suffer from pain conditions. Okay, so there are a whole load of healthy people there that don't have anything wrong with them. So it can get you down knowing that there is plenty of people that are not experiencing what you are. And so it's like this comparison thing, isn't it? Why me? They don't have it. They don't understand. This is part of the acceptance thing as well. I think if you dwell on the fact that so many people may not understand what you have and may not have a pain condition, then you're only going to get yourself lower and feel lower about it. And you're far better off thinking there are plenty of people in the world that do have pain conditions, and plenty of people in the world that probably do have trigeminal neuralgia or whatever it is that you might struggle with. And therefore, it's better to look at it that way and be positive about trying to make a recovery, trying to find things that help you through. So yeah, let me know if you have found things that perhaps you have found that will help you through, because this is a chat, it's a question and answer session and a discussion about how to support mental health when you are living with a pain condition. how can you not be the victim when every day you may be in pain? How can you not be the victim when you see lots of people that don't go through what you go through? How can you try to live positively every day when you've got that hanging over you? How can you do that? And it's easy for me to sit here because my trigeminal neuralgia is much better than it ever was in the beginning when I first started to channel. I have other things to contend with that could get me down, and sometimes they do, and I think that's okay as well. So I'm not saying you need to kind of completely be positive all the time, and that's the only way you can get through, because nobody can do that. But I suppose I'm thinking, what are the strategies that we can use? How can we help ourselves? Because we have got it, so we have to live with it, and we have to find ways of, muddling through and not getting sort of really, really low. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you're here. What do you have? Do you have any disabilities or pain conditions that you want to discuss? You want to let us know about? And how do you find, like, what do you do to help your mental health through that? One thing I've started to do recently, which isn't to do with trigeminal neuralgia, because in the beginning I couldn't go swimming with it, which I was really upset about because I love swimming and I thought I'd never be able to swim again. So it's like, I'm never going to be able to swim again. So I have something else to do with breathing. And so I started to go swimming. And trust me, it was a big step for me to do that. And although it makes me feel really tired, I think it's probably boosting me. And I kind of feel like a little bit better when I get back for doing that, for actually getting out and just doing something different. So I guess doing something different when you're well enough, anything that you used to do when you were younger, that maybe you can return to, any person that you know is really great at listening and understanding, and dare I say it, not to become too isolated, because I know that's what I did. I look back now, and when I first got it, it took me ages to accept it, and then I just isolated myself. Even when the pain levels got better, I just didn't want to know, because I couldn't, one, accept I had it, and two, I didn't want to be around people. And I think that's a really vicious circle, even though I actually prefer my own company, if I'm honest. It's a bit of a vicious cycle, not cycle, because you then don't want to do anything at all. And even when your pain levels are better, you don't want to do it, because for like maybe over a year, you haven't stepped outside the door, or you haven't gone for a walk, or you haven't, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's important to try and not let that happen, but it's very hard to do that when you're living with pain. So yeah, let me know in the chat who you are, so that I'm not talking to myself for the rest of the time, because I will get like breathless and struggle to keep going. So yeah, let me know who you are. Let me know if you're part of the channel. Let me know if you have TN or you have something else, because you might as well share if you want to share. And let me know if you found like useful strategies that we can all hear about that have really helped you with your mental health when it would have been easy just to kind of just get really down, and or maybe you have been really down and you've kind of struggled, you've pulled your way back up because you've used some of these strategies. Let me know. So I'm not talking to myself. What else I've got to say to you? Yeah, so I'm going to probably have to go to the dentist because something is going on that side. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that side. Something is going on this side again. I hope it's just a dental thing, but yeah, pretty strong kind of zaps have happened occasionally, but it is when I'm eating, so it could just be dental. Let's hope so. Yeah, and the other thing that I've been thinking about is all the tablets I'm on for different things. I'm still on that carbamazepine, so it's really hard to know whether just to continue with that for lifelong or what. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you do to boost yourself, or if you're in a really low place and you haven't found anything to boost yourself, let me know, and let's see if we can, I don't know, support you in some way. I'm just going to go quiet now. It's hard for me to go quiet because I'm just looking at myself here, just talking to myself. So how long can I stay quiet for? Just sent you a smiley face, people. Could you introduce yourselves? Let me know who you are. If not, I'll think about how to kind of develop what I've said. I'll have to think how to do that. I'll tell you kind of how I felt in the beginning to how I feel now, which still needs improving, to be fair. My mental health still needs improving, but compared to where it was. Oh, Jane. Jane, Tai Chi. That's good, Jane. So, Jane, do you have what trigeminal neuralgia or something different pain condition? And you can tell me all about Tai Chi, how it works. I know what it is, but like how you've learned to do it, where you've gone to learn to do it. Tell me if you have trigeminal neuralgia or something different. Because I think any pain condition, I think the strategies are the same to try and get yourself motivated and positive, I think. So yeah, let me know whether you just do Tai Chi, saying it Chai Tea, that's something else. Whether you just do Tai Chi because it helps you with your mental health, or you do have a pain condition, let me know. And we can all benefit from chatting about that, especially on the replay when people watch it back. So yeah, I'm doing, oh, right, okay. Yeah, so we're talking about a similar thing, okay. Yeah. So when I had my MRI, it didn't actually show anything, but they still thought it was what I had. And one of the frustrations is sometimes you don't get a definitive answer, but you have to go with the fact that you probably have it. So Tai Chi, that's a really good idea because it's quite slow moving, isn't it? The movements are quite deliberate. And how have you learned to do that? If you learned to do that online or somebody showed you, because that's a really good idea. Tai Chi is helping us. I find it's just really distracting. Yeah. And it doesn't move the head around too much, does it? Because the movements are quite, do you know what I find really annoying is there's like hearts and faces right next to all the comments. Oh, okay. Going to a local class. Well done. Well, that's amazing. If you don't, it's quite early in your journey, isn't it? And you've already found something that's helping you. That's amazing. Well done, Jane. Brilliant. The whole of the world that watches this video, I mean, it won't be, will think to themselves, Tai Chi, that is quite a good idea. Because it's not rapid head movement. It's nice and sort of like deliberate movements, isn't it? Because when you have early stages of TN and things aren't under control, you can't be jumping around all over the place and kind of like jiggling up that nerve. So that's a brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Yeah. I wish in the beginning I could have found stuff, but in the beginning what I did was crafting. Hello, Tori. You've watched me from the beginning. Thank you for what I do. I've had TN for 8 years now. Before TN, I was perfectly healthy. Since TN, I've had numerous diagnoses. Me too, Tori. You're welcome. I often think, like, should I stop making the videos? Because I am so much better. So I do feel a little bit of a, fraud. I think it could come back. Sometimes I feel like it could come back, but I am really stable. But I'm the same as you. I've had so many other things wrong with me now. So many. Yeah, and I sometimes think they are connected, but of course I'll never know that. But yeah, I was pretty well, I wouldn't say it was healthy beforehand, but I had nothing apart from my asthma, nothing specific, shall we say. But now got loads of things. Yeah. So do you have anything that you do that really helps you? Because you've had it for 8 years. So I'm guessing, like me, I'm hoping that things are more stable for you. Like, your body, you've got on some meds and, it's fairly controlled. I hope it is after 8 years, and that you've found ways of making life work. Hopefully, let me know. Let me know what you do, because all of this, like, people watch us back and they'll be getting ideas from us. So many more people watch it than you realise. So just because people don't comment, it doesn't mean to say they don't watch. Yes, thanks for the content, as you're great at vocalizing how I feel. Okay, yeah. I've actually shared your videos to others to help. Oh, that's really good. That's good. That's good. Sometimes I don't always feel like making them, but the reason why I don't like making them is because sometimes I don't like thinking that I have it. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I want to forget that I've got it, especially as things are a bit better for me now. So yeah, that's good. Oh, that's you saying that, Jane. That's you saying that. Yes. Sorry, Jane. I'm getting mixed up. So Tori is saying about the 8 years and you're saying that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's very isolating, Jane. Really, really isolating, because it's just so not heard about. Yeah. So Tori, do you have anything that you excuse me? You'd have to excuse me, guys. Another one of those things that's wrong with me, but do you have anything that you do that you think helps? So I see Jane's here and she's early in the journey. So anything that you do. So Jane's Tai Chi is a really brilliant idea. I go swimming, but that's actually wasn't to do my TN, it's to do my breathing. But I love swimming, and I did think I would have to give that up. So, but I wouldn't have even thought about that in the early days. So, but it makes me feel more positive, and I think that's what I'm trying to get to here. I've got my crafting, which, if I was very needing to be stationary and not moving very much, I think crafting is a great thing. Swimming is a progression, and I love it. So it's making me feel good, and it takes you out of yourself. So yeah, Tori, what else? Tell me what you do, if anything. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're here looking for answers to things to do. So trying to think what else I used to do. When I was in a lot of pain, I needed to sit still a lot. I would journal, just like really still, just journal. And I would just pick the most productive hours of the day and just do what I could. And then I would just rest. Never really got very far in the early days. But yeah. Oh, don't stop. I think the same. It all has to be related. I can't take the traditional meds. I take Belbuca film. Okay. Takes the edge off the muscle. Takes the edge off. Muscle relaxes when it's bad. When it's bad, just makes you sleep. Okay. And steroids to help with flare up. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have thought about stopping, only because see, I suppose if I came off the meds, I would know, because if I started to get flare-ups, I would be reminded that I had it, and it then makes more sense to make videos, but I don't want a flare-up. So yeah, I'll keep going then. I'll keep going. So you're kind of going down a different route with what you've got, but it does help you. Yeah, okay. Are there any videos you'd like me to make, seeing both of you on here then, that you want me to go through a little bit more? There's quite a lot on the channel. I only make one a month roughly, but if there's something that you think would be helpful, that just for you guys, because you're here. And Helen, if you're watching this, Helen is my only member. Hi, Helen. I hope you're doing okay. Thank you for your support, and just giving you a shout out. Okay. Yeah, let me know. What would you like me to do? Would you like me to, I'm just throwing it out here, show you other practical things that you could be doing. I could introduce things on the channel that I actually do and make, but I do that elsewhere. So do you know what I mean? Kind of give me some ideas of new things I can go for, and I'll give anything a go. Absolutely anything a go. You've got to keep an eye on the time because of my son coming back to school, because he's always miserable when he gets back from school. I mean, I don't like to call him miserable, but he is miserable when he gets back from school. So you don't want to hear him when he's miserable when he gets back from school. Yeah, I can show you some practical things to do with your hands, but I can direct you to other places where I do that. So here we go. Do you take additional meds on top of carbamazepine? Me? No. Only for other things, not for this. So, excuse me. I started on a really high dose, well, not a really high dose of carbamazepine, but quite high. And then that got it under control-ish. So say in the beginning, then I was on a 8 pain. Then it got me down to about a 6 or a 5, and then continued to work from there. So I'm only on one tablet before I go to bed now, and never leave that off. So I'm just on that one thing, and that keeps it under control. When I first started taking it, I didn't think I'd be able to stay on it because it was just horrendous. And I still know that that medication has a big impact on me, tiredness-wise and everything, fog, brain fog. But I do also feel it's very effective. So yeah, I'm just on that. But it's a harsh drug. When I speak to a lot of people, they can't go on it. And to start with, I thought, I feel like I am like spaced out the whole time, but it did improve. It did. I'd like to see helpful hints to reduce the pain. Anything that might help. I pray for you and all of us to get relief and feel normal again. Okay, Tori. So, Tori, just let me know at the minute. So, at the moment, you've got this kind of muscle relaxant. You can't take the normal meds. So, you're like looking for ideas to reduce the pain. So, give me a hint at the moment of what your pain levels are like at the minute and what you can and can't do. Because then I might be able to make a video around what you're asking. I mean, because I take the traditional medication, obviously that's my pain relief, and I have increased my movement, and I have increased what I'm able to do over time. And I've had it for about 3.5 years, but you've had it for 8 years. So I don't know what your situation is. So let me know where you're at on your journey. Like, how do you feel? Has it improved over time? Is it the same? In a day, what can you do? What can't you do? And I can make a video around kind of where I think you're at, because there'll be other people out there that are in the exactly same place as you. Do you have any thoughts on TN and links and the menopause? I'm getting brain fog, but I'm thinking I could be the menopause also. Right, Jane. That's a whole other subject. Okay. I'm getting brain fog. Well, the menopause is awful, and it's really bad for brain fog and lots of other things. I don't know whether you would link the two, but I'd say some of the symptoms that you get with the menopause, with kind of not feeling a little bit spaced out and hot and bothered and brain foggy. Yeah, I'm going to say that there could be a bit of an overlap, but I don't know that, the menopause and TN are linked in any way. I still link what happened to me with like major surgery that I had on a wisdom tooth, and they warned me that it might hit the nerve. There was nothing I could do. I had to have that tooth out. So I link it with that. But there's definitely a crossover in some of the kind of like some of the weird feelings that you can get with menopause. Definitely, yeah. Yeah. That's fine. Now, the reason why I'm laughing is because I've had a hysterectomy, so I've had everything out. So I don't have any. I went straight into the menopause. Do you know what I mean? I had everything out, and I just went plummeting into the menopause, and it was awful, terrible. So yeah, some of the symptoms might mimic with the brain fog, but I don't think like one would produce the other. So I don't think just because you're going through the menopause that you might be more likely to have TN, although I might be wrong on this, but I do think a lot of women over a certain age do get it, TN. So yeah, I don't know what the links might be though, if there are any. because I'm not medical, but brain fog all around, basically. Yeah. Write everything down and put alarms on your phone for everything. I have to have alarms on my phone for everything. So, even if I was journaling, I still need to put an alarm on my phone to remind me. And then this alarm goes off, and my husband's like, "What's that?" I said, "I don't know. I've got an alarm, but I can't remember what it's for." So, yeah. Yes, Tori, let me know kind of where you are in your journey, like how you feel you are. And then I can pitch a video that I think might be helpful for you if I know where you are in that no in those pain levels, really. But the thing is, Jane, is that it just makes a double whammy, doesn't it? Because you're coping with the menopause and you're coping with these pain things that you don't know where they're coming from. So I suppose what I'd say be important is to make sure that you go to the doctor if you can get hold of one, because I don't know where you live, but over here in the UK, it's not easy, and actually talk about the menopause with them so that you're not contending with that alongside possible TN, because you want to reduce all the other things that you have to cope with, because dealing with TN's enough. You know what I mean? So if you can get any help with symptoms and stuff like that, like depends if you're happy to go on HRT and things like that. I had to, but yeah, you don't want to be coping with anything else other than what you're coping with. Not too many things. But you don't need to be sorry, Jane. I do exactly understand what you mean. Where are you, Tori? Can you sort of explain to me where you're at? And then I can kind of pitch a video from where you're at, make a video, the next one from where you're at, kind of talk around. I can only give you my experience about what types of things helped me with pain. But to be fair, my TN is regulated quite well with what I'm taking. So that's the thing. It may be different for you. But you're all chatting nicely now. So if there's anybody else here who wants to ask a question or tell me where they're at, if you've got TN, or I always open this out to hidden disability, because I guess there are lots of hidden disabilities that they're not the same as TN, but they have a lot of impact on your mental health as well. So let's have a look. So your pain is now about a 6. Every day is different. Everything does wear me out. Yeah. I limit 1 doctor appointment per day or small activity. Yes. The brain fog is terrible and no one understands either of those. Okay. Right, Tori. Let me write that down. This is where you're at. And I'm guessing from what you're saying, you can't go on the other meds, I think. So I'd have to take it from where you're at, yeah? And don't forget, guys, I'm not medical. I can only kind of base it on the journey that I've had to try and help you, and it may not, because we're all different, but no, nobody does understand, do they? Brain fog. So because you're a 6, you need stuff still to do quite stationary, don't you, where you're not like moving your head around a lot of things like that. So it's a case of finding those things, isn't there? So maybe a video around like good distraction and just keeping the best you can at those pain levels, isn't it, really? Right, I've got that written down. Jane, I think I'm trying to figure out if symptoms are drug-related or standard menopausal, and based on lots and finding getting consultant appointments very difficult. Yes. I mean, I never even got anywhere with because the carbamazepine, the Tegretol kind of calmed things down. I never even got to a neurologist. I never even got to pass maxillofacial in the end. So, but yes. So I think I'm trying to. So what did you say you were on? Are you on carbamazepine, Jane? I think you. Yeah. Are you on carbamazepine? Get it out at a minute. You've had that also. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. So my opinion then, I was going to call you Wendy, Jane. carbamazepine will make you very lethargic and very foggy. I would say that's going to be your main problem with it. The menopausal stuff will make you feel maybe sometimes a bit nauseated and dizzy, very hot, and maybe low in self-confidence. So the two can overlap a bit, but I'm going to say they are slightly different. So, but I do think carbamazepine is a very harsh drug, and I do think it has changed me a lot. But I would rather have that than the pain. And I know different people would feel differently about that. Yeah, so you've got that as well, Tori. I think Tori, a hysterectomy hit me a lot more than what I thought it would. I mean, I know we're moving on to a different subject, but why not? I mean, I had to have one, and I left it a long time before I went for one because I was working full time. But it took me a long time to get over it. And I don't think I was ever the same. So if you've got the two things, you're going through both. I mean, both of you are actually. My advice would be try to separate the two out in your mind. I know they're both part of your body, but try to work on helping the menopausal symptoms, because dealing with TN is enough on its own. So try to get help with that as well. Like, don't kind of plonk it all into a basket and go, well, I'm going through all of this together. You are, but there is help you can get for menopausal stuff. And I would take whatever help you can get, because the rest of it is going to be hard enough. And then, of course, there's everything that comes with it. So menopausal, being on carbamazepine, weight gain, lethargy, go around in circles. Yeah. I'll try and do a video that talks about, how about if I try and do, I don't know how old you guys are. I was told by my doctor that comment. Oh yeah, it could well do, yeah. Yes, I read that somewhere. I read that somewhere. I mean, I do get very hot, but then I'm on lots of things now, so I don't know. But yes, I've read that too. But however, I still think if I leave off my HRT, I can definitely tell the difference. And I'm on carbamazepine, so I can tell the difference. So I don't know. So how about if I make a video about, I don't know whether to put an actual age on it, or I'm obviously over 50. So I don't know whether to say trigeminal neuralgia for women over, or mature women, or something like that. And maybe I can make a video around the other things that kind of interplay with something like TN, the other things that a more mature woman has to deal with as well, and how we can kind of, help ourselves to live with all these things. So maybe I can include something like that. Yeah. Okay. So if I mean, rather than say over 50, if I say something like TN, as a mature woman, and we can talk about all the things that hit us then later, like you say, menopause, and all the things that we might be dealing with alongside TN, and then, how to take mini steps, always mini steps forward. Because, you're saying you're still on a pain level 6, Tori. So you're not going to be getting up every day at the crack of dawn, going for a jog around, the block, getting back, doing a lovely salad for lunch, cleaning out. You're not going to be doing that. You're going to be just taking the tiniest steps for you to say, right, last month I was on pain level 6 and I felt like, this. And this month I'm on pain level 5 and I'm feeling a bit better and I'm doing a bit more. So yeah, let me make a video around that. I think that would be really helpful. So there we go. We've come up with the next video. It's good, isn't it? Next video plan. Yeah, it's interesting though, isn't it, that we're all going through something very similar. And I don't know what the occurrence is for TN for women over a certain age, but I think it's quite high. I can't speak in terms of knowing, really. Yeah. So do you have any hobbies that work at all for you, Tori? Obviously, Jane's got the Tai Chi. Did I say that right? Have you got anything that you are enjoying at the minute? Or is it kind of you just happy if you get out of bed and get through the day and have a few positive moments? And I know that's a horrible thing to say, but that's how it can be. Let's be honest, that's how it can be. You're happy if you get through the day and you've, smiled a bit and got through meal times and dressed yourself and that sort of thing. Yeah. But let me know if you have found anything. I'll try and think about. So what I don't want to do is go, well, this is what I do, because everybody's different. So I'm going to have to think of like lots of suggestions and make it generic for everybody. Yeah, let me know, Tori, if. So you're in the UK, Jane. Tori, are you? Tori's maybe more of a USA name, but I might be wrong there. Might be completely wrong there. Here we go. I want to see what helps a lot is my kids. Yes. Now adults and my dogs. Yes. When I feel like I can't, they make me get up and move. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah, it's more of a US name. Yeah. Okay, so your family and your dogs. Yeah. Yeah. There's a double-edged sword to that, and there's sometimes you're not quite well enough to keep up with them, but it resonates with me when you talk about denials. I'm really battling. Yeah, you're early in the process. Would much rather it was something else. Yes, I know. But that's because you're really early in the process, and it does feel like this is this thing that nobody knows about, and you'd rather think it was something else. But don't look at me as and go, oh, look at Nairi. But if you haven't gone back at the beginning when I started out on this, you will definitely see that I have improved a lot. So it is possible. In the beginning, you won't think like it is. You'll be like, no, this is my life. And to a certain extent, life won't be the same. Even when people come on here and they say they've had surgery, they still say that life isn't the same. So it's not the same, but it can improve. Not for everyone, but it can improve. So yeah, but the denial for me went on for months. And I had loads of meltdowns with my husband's. It went on for months. Yeah. Probably the first 6 months, if I'm honest with you. Dog videos on low light and low volume. That's the time. Oh, I love dogs. I love animals. I really do. I really love them. Right. I'm so happy to have had a chat with you guys. And I hope that people that watch this back, when you watch this back, everybody, you'll hear what we've talked about. You'll hear some of the different stages that Jane and Tori are at, and that might help you as well. And you've heard what sort of video I'm next gonna do. And it's short and sweet because I know that my son is arriving home soon and it will be loud. So right, thanks, Jane. Yeah. And I'll see you guys soon. All right. Now I've got to realize how to end this. Okay. Bye.